Hey friend, welcome to my channel. My name is Jordan if you're new here, and I'm a stay-at-home mama of 3 boys. Today I wanted to share with you what my toy rotation process looks like. I typically do this every other week just because it takes about 45 minutes to an hour for me. I think for someone who's a little bit more efficient and not as much of a perfectionist, it could be done in maybe like 20 to 30 minutes. But I do this every other week, and I used to do it every week. Occasionally I still do that, but for the most part it is every other week. The room you're looking at was created to be our homeschool room, but kind of as time went on and learning what works best for our homeschooling, we ended up at our dining room table to do homeschooling. So this room is mostly just a playroom. Usually I do the best that I can to try to have my kids clean up after themselves, but for the sake of time and this video, I just decided to do it myself. So definitely step 1 is cleaning up the room. It helps me to kind of think more clearly, to be able to tell what needs to go in storage and what needs to come out of storage from the bins. And when I put everything back in the bins, it also helps me to figure out what pieces are missing from different toys. So I'll usually take some time to go around the house looking for different pieces that are missing to hopefully find them and then put them back, because it's really hard for the kids to play with the toys when they are missing pieces. Okay, so on the right hand side of the room that I was showing you that I was cleaning are these 2 tall shelves that I put all of their toys in different categories so that I can just grab them and put them in some trays that go on the shelf. I basically just found these shelves on Amazon, and then I also looked for bins that I knew would fit at least 3 across on each shelf. And the shelf heights are adjustable, so you can fix that however you want to. But it does fit okay. Some of them are still a little bit cramped, but it's really just about like the ease of the process is just so much better when they're all already in a category and I don't have to go sifting through a bunch of different things. And another thing was these close, and I picked shelves that close specifically because if my kids can see all of their toys, they're going to ask for them on the regular. And they'll also be playing with them more frequently and used to them more frequently. So if they can't see them, it's kind of more of a surprise if they don't have access to them regularly. So the ones on the left side are not as much in bins, if you can tell, because they don't really fit in bins very easily. So that one is not as organized as the right side, but it still works even if you don't have the bins. In my personal opinion, if you have young kids, I think it's really great to have the closed shelves if you can. Or even if you just put it in a closet, that's where I had them initially, was just shelving in a space that they didn't have access to. So these other large toy areas like the kitchen and the table, I usually swap these out maybe like once a month with other big items. So we don't have a ton of big items to swap them out with, but there's a few different ones that I like to change up every now and then. And then these books I'll switch out when I swap out the toys as well. Side note, if you have been wanting to create a classroom but don't have the means or the space to do it, I honestly recommend the dining room more than any other space for homeschooling. Maybe it's just the flow of our home, but it just feels most natural to do homeschooling at the dining table. Also, if you want to see what our actual homeschool area looks like, I'm going to create a video about that soon, so stay on the lookout for that. But back to the toy rotation. We used to not have any kind of a real system at all for our toys. I just had them all in a big bin because that's what we could afford at the time. But I didn't love that my son seemed uninterested in them, and he would only want to just dump them out all over the ground and not actually play with them. So when we could afford to make some changes, I bought some shelves to try my hand at the Montessori style play. So that's kind of what the aim was for this room, kind of the look for it I was going for. I was attracted to the Montessori way just because it's very simplistic and easy on the eye. But the heart of why I do this toy rotation is just to keep a fresh area for my kids to enjoy. This is where the majority of their toys live, so I like to keep it changing, and they do tend to get excited when they notice that I've swapped out their toys. These wooden trays that I'm pulling out, I found them on Amazon. I think they're going for about $25 right now. I'm pretty sure I only paid maybe like $20 for all of them, but there's 7 of them, so I didn't need to buy any more than that. And those are what I use for all of their toys that I set out. I also use baskets that I found from Goodwill, so that's another easy option if you're looking for something different. After I put the set of toys that were already out, after I put them back into storage, I usually try not to pull those exact same toys out for at least another 3 to 4 weeks, just so that it's been a really long time since they've had those. Right here is my book rotation, so I'm just pulling from all of the places that we keep books, which this part is in the living room, so that front playroom, the living room, we have books in this little bin it goes on that shelf, and then also on this side table we keep books. I try to have them all over the place just so that the kids will just pick them up, hopefully, and read them. And this is the end result. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to click that like and subscribe button. I'll see you next time.